Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. APW Sports signing in for Week 9's Power Rankings. Now, we're coming off of a crazy Week 8 where this team is a part of the damn craziness, the Bears, but we'll get into that later. It's been a couple of upsets. It's been a crazy week, so let's just talk about it. Let's get into my Power Rankings. Without further ado, let's dive into it. Alright guys, take a look. These are my power rankings from last week. And oh yeah, things are definitely going to change. So take a good look at it now. Let's get into the rest of the power rankings for this week. First matchup, since we didn't have anybody with buys last week, so I don't have to go through that. First matchup is the Rams versus the Vikings. And for right now, I am going to put the LA Rams. After that, I'm going to put the Rams in a B category. I really like how they came out physically. Matthew Stafford came out and had a very good game with Cup and Nakua both healthy. And I think a lot of that Rams offense was based off the injuries to those two guys. So with those two guys being back, you're seeing this offense be more productive. And the defense plays some very good football in that second half Thursday night. So I'm going to put the Rams in B, but I am dropping the Minnesota Vikings to A. Have they been exposed? Sam Darnold, yeah, he's had his ups and downs. Defensively, they really got to take advantage of these last 2 weeks versus the Lions and versus the Rams. And as far as that face mask, yes, they should have been called. But to be honest, the way that game was going, I personally still think the Rams possibly came out with that game. Next, we're going to Sunday games. We're going to the Ravens and the Browns. I'm still going to have the Ravens at the S tier. Now, granted, they didn't run the football with Derrick Henry as much as they needed to. We only had 11 carries. They threw the football a little bit too much, in my opinion. I think they should have stuck a bit more with the running game. Defensively, they had a ton of mishaps, dropped some interceptions. So, I still believe in this Ravens team. I still believe defensively they can continue to get things together, but offensively, I just wish they would have ran a little bit more against the Browns team and used Derrick Henry a little bit more. And as far as the Cleveland Browns go, I almost want to move them to C. I have to see after what happens next week with Jameis Winston in at quarterback. But offensively, they did look a lot better versus what Deshaun Watson has been bringing them, versus what Jameis Winston bought them. And defensively, they played well against the Ravens. Even though I still have them at a D, I'm waiting on another week to see how they look, if I want to move them up or not. Next, we're going to have the Detroit Lions versus the Tennessee Titans. I mean, Tennessee is just awful. Tennessee is just awful. And I said that coming into the season, I didn't have much belief in Tennessee. We already seen Will Levis struggle. Mason Rudolph came in and struggled. Defensively, it's not a very good defense. Outside of that first half of the week 1 against the Bears, this team has looked like dog crap. And I always said the Titans are in a rebuild. Definitely looks like it. But the Detroit Lions, I think, are the best team in football, bar none. I know you got the Chiefs, who I'll talk about later, that's undefeated. But the way the Lions are playing football right now, the way they've been dominating teams, offensively they've been dominant. Defensively, yeah, it still sucks that Aiden Hutchinson is out. But, damn it, this is the best team in football. I think the most complete team in football. That's just my opinion. Next, we're going to go to the Indianapolis Colts versus the Houston Texans. I'm dropping the Colts to a C, and the Texans, I'm just going to keep them at A. Texans, C.J. Stroud hasn't been playing his best football the past couple of weeks. Joe Mixon has been picking things up with the running game. We'll see what that Stephon Diggs injury looks like and how long he'll be out. But Anthony Richardson is Colts offense. I got a big criticism for him being just taking himself out of the game. You don't do that. You do not do that. Defensively, they haven't been playing their best. Offensively, they've just been so up and down and so inconsistent as an offense. Even with Jonathan Taylor having some solid weeks, they've just been so inconsistent offensively. And I think that's a big reason why they're sitting right now at 4-4. Next, we're going to have the Green Bay Packers versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I almost hate to do it. You know what? I'm keeping the Packers at A. For now, I'm keeping the Packers at A. We'll see what this Jordan Love injury, groin injury, looks like. Malik Willis came in and played productively. They ran the football well. Defensively, they haven't created turnovers, but they did have mishaps against the Jaguars, and the Jaguars are just, the Jaguars are the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence he did have a better performance against this Packer defense, and it looks like Tanks Bigsby is taking over ATN's spot at the running back position. Injuries to wide receivers, we'll see what they look like with Kirk. I think he broke his collarbone. I want him to be mistaken. Defensively, I've never been big on this Jaguars defense and showed again last week. So, Jaguars at a D. Next, we're going to have the Arizona Cardinals versus the Miami Dolphins. I'm putting the Cardinals at a B for now. I've always said I'm not the biggest believer in Kyler Murray, but he has been playing some solid football, I will admit. He's been playing solidly, and as far as the Miami Dolphins go, I almost want to put them at D, but I don't think they're quite at that level yet. We'll see what. Offensively, they look a little bit better with Tua. Defensively, I'm still that question on their defense still leaves to remain to be seen. Offensively, the Cardinals, James Conner has been playing some absolutely good football running the ball. And as much as I'm not big on Kyler Murray, he has played solid. And Marvin Harrison Jr. for the Ohio State University, he's been balling out. So next, I am going to go with the Jets versus the Patriots. I'm sorry, I'm putting the Jets at D. The Jets are just not a very good football team. They're not. They have the talent roster. I've said that in a video that I made about the Jets season. They're not roster. They're not really a roster. They're just individuals. They have good players, but they're not a roster. It's not a team football. Aaron Rodgers play like crap. Defensively, they're not good, and they just been below all expectations. They looked better last year with Zach Wilson, and that's saying something. And as far as the Patriots go, I'm putting the Patriots at D still, but I do like the fight of this football team. It's just not a very good football team. We will be honest. Ramondre Stevenson has been the bright spot of that offense. Defensively, they've had some hits and misses, but it's not a very good football team, but they do play hard, and that is something that you can't say about the Jets at this point right now. Next, we're going to go to the Atlanta Falcons versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I have both teams at B, and I'm going to keep both teams at B. Baker and the offense have struggled the past couple of weeks. We're talking about a defense with the Bucs that's definitely not the same unit. Offensively for the Falcons, I love what Kirk Cousins has been doing. He's been playing solidly. They've been running the ball with Algier and with Bijan Robinson. Darnell Mooney, who I said in the offseason, going to be a sneaky pickup, has been very good for them. Kyle Pitts, we're starting to finally see them emerge, but they have I think they have the best safety tandem with Bates and Simmons. So I'm liking what I'm seeing from both teams. It's just the Bucs have kind of struggled the past couple of weeks, and the Falcons defensively have been a little bit better as the season went on. They've been playing a little bit better, and they get the sweep of the Bucs. Today's video is brought to you by ExpressVPN. For me, it is very important to have a VPN to protect my online privacy. It'd be very, very creepy if there was someone out there who kept a log of every single thing that you did online. So why let your internet provider really do that to you online? The best thing to do is to get yourself a VPN, and why not go with ExpressVPN, the best VPN available. Personally, I like it for the fact that you can unlock Netflix shows that you do not get in the US market. Now, one show that I've started to get myself into is Brooklyn Nine-Nine. You search Brooklyn Nine-Nine in the US, doesn't come up, but you can switch your location to Canada, and you can research Brooklyn Nine-Nine again, and bam, it pops up right then and there, and you can catch up on your episodes of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Now, if you click the link in the description below, you will get 3 free months of ExpressVPN. Just by clicking the link below and you sign up today, you will get 3 months free of ExpressVPN. All you have to do is click the link down below, and you will get ExpressVPN. Now, let's just get back to the video. Next, we're going to have the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm keeping the Bengals in C. I'm just not liking what I'm seeing from the defensive side of the ball with the Bengals. They have not been good all year. They've really not been a good defensive team all year. Offensively, they can score points. It's just when you have a bad defense, it's almost like they're asking the offense to play hero ball. And when we're talking about this Philadelphia Eagles football team, I think I'm moving them up to an A. They've been playing a lot better the past couple of weeks. Saquon Barkley has been the big factor in this team's success with him running the football. Jalen Hurts has been playing better these last couple of weeks. So when we're talking about this Eagles team, I have to move them up to an A. And we're talking about a team like the Bengals. I'm sorry. Defensively, they're just not good. Next, we're going to go to the New Orleans Saints versus the Los Angeles Chargers. The Saints have just been on a big nosedive after those first 2 weeks. We know they had a ton of injuries, whether it was Olave, Shaheed, Derek Carr, you name it. There's been a bunch of injuries to this offense. Defensively, I've always said that defense is getting a little bit too old, and it's starting to show. And then it's just not a good team right now. And those first 2 weeks are proven to be a fluke. And then when we're talking about the Los Angeles Chargers, I think this is I had them at C last. I think I'm going to move them up because I just think if you're talking about an average football team, the Chargers are the definition of an average football team. They're not very good in specific areas. They're not terrible in a lot of areas. They're just right at the middle of the pack. They have been running the ball better. Justin Herbert, he has his moments. I just think this team is just an average football team. Like I said, the definition of average to me this season is the LA Chargers. Take it where you go. Next, we're gonna have the Buffalo Bills versus Seattle Seahawks. I want to put the Bills in S. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put the Bills in S. Defensively, they looked a lot better, especially against Seattle, who can score some points. Offensively, we know what Josh Allen in that offense has been capable of. I think he's starting to play within his own self. He hasn't been turning the football over. And when we're talking about the Seattle Seahawks, I think they're right there with the Chargers as far as being an average football team. Offensively, they had a moment. They didn't look good at all against Buffalo. Defensively, like I said, they didn't look good against Buffalo. They've just been an average football team up to this point, and it's showing. It is showing. Next, we're going to go to the failed Mary by the Bears. I'm moving the Bears to a B. Outside of the last maybe 6 or 7 minutes of that ball game, the offense didn't do a damn thing. We love that had the Bears, and I'm speaking this is me being a Bears fan. They had too much on the defense. And when we needed the defense, somebody named Tyreek Stevenson was out messing with the crowd. So, I'll leave my reaction to that, but offensively, they did run the football very well. DeAndre Swift did have a great game running. We couldn't get the ball, throw the ball to save our lives. Sounds familiar for the Bears team. And as far as the Commanders go, I'm keeping the Commanders at B, and I'm not moving, at A, and I'm not moving them up. Mainly, they couldn't capitalize in the red zone. They could not capitalize in the red zone. And the only touchdown that they scored was the Hail Mary the entire game. That was the only touchdown that the Commanders scored the entire game. Defensively, they got after the Bears. Defensively, they made the Bears look pedestrian. But offensively, they had a good amount of opportunities for scoring chances, and they just could not push the ball into the end zone. So, and then Jaden Daniels, it looks like Jaden Daniels. But for now, I'm keeping them at A because they just failed to capitalize on the Bears' woes as an offense. So I'm keeping them at an A, despite the Hail Mary. Next, we're going to go to the Carolina Panthers, which is just bad. And the Denver Broncos, I almost want to move them up to an A, but I'm going to keep the Broncos at a B. I still think this is a very solid football team. I still think the Broncos have been better defensively. And Bo Nix has been playing some really good football despite the hype to Caleb Williams and despite the hype and the things that have been said about Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix has been playing some really solid football for a rookie quarterback. I think Sean Payton has his offense looking real nice. The running game has been looking nice. So I'm putting the Broncos at B. I'm starting to believe more in Bo Nix than what I did when he was drafted. Then we're going to have the Carolina Panthers. It's just the Carolina Panthers. I mean, the worst team in football, in my opinion. So it is what it is. The Panthers, they got a lot of issues. Quarterback being one of them. Receiver being one of them. Deontay Johnson's probably going to be traded. I mean, they're just a team with a bunch of issues. Next, we're going to go to the Kansas City Chiefs and the Vegas Raiders. That was the best game I've seen from Patrick Mahomes all season. That was the best game I think he has played all season. Defensively, we know what the Chiefs are defensively. Offensively, I think that was the best game that they played all year. While granted, it was against the Raiders team who I have at a D, but that was the best football I've seen that offense play. The Raiders, they're just not good. I always said they should have done something about that quarterback position. Minshew, O'Connell, whoever it's been, has not been the guy. Brock Bowers has been the absolute bright spot, along with Crosby, has been the bright spots of this football team. But other than that, it's not good. Next, we're going to go to the Dallas Cowboys versus the San Francisco 49ers. I'm keeping the Cowboys in C. It's just not a very good front. Not a very good defense. They can't create turnovers. Offensively, it's basically just a one-trick pony. They can't run the football. They can't stop the run. It's just not a good football team. And I think they're putting a lot on Dak Prescott's shoulders, but when you look at this team, it's just not a good team. Outside of CeeDee Lamb, it's not much of an offensive threat. So I'm going to put this team in C, and as far as the 49ers go, I'm going to put the 49ers in A. I'm going to move them up, even though they had their own problems with injuries, with Mason going down, and I also made a video about their injuries. The injuries have been, I think, the biggest thing from keeping this team where they should be. Brock Purdy played better, and defensively, Nick Bosa and them got after it, made some turnovers. So I'm moving the 49ers up to an A. And then last but not least, the Steelers versus the Giants. The Steelers are at an A, and the Giants, I told y'all Daniel Jones is not the guy. He's not it. We're seeing that they have been playing. Tracy has been running the crap out of the football. Defensively, not a good defense. They can get after you, make some things happen. Just not a good defense. Malik Neighbors has been a bright spot in his offense. And along with Tracy running the football. Other than that, this team is just not a good team. They have injuries along their offensive line. It's not a good year, not a good team. And then if we're talking about the Steelers, they have Alex Heisman and TJ Watt, who basically just dominated the offensive line. They've ran the football better the last 3 weeks. And Mike Tomlin was right with putting Russell Wilson at that quarterback position over Justin Fields. As much as I love Justin Fields, these 2 games has shown that Russell Wilson has been the right move. I hate even to say it, but you guys know how much I love Fields. But that was the right move. Well, those are my rankings for week 9. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. But I am APW Sports signing out. Make sure you guys stay safe. Have a great and excellent day. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace.